So, a few videos ago, I mentioned my upcoming comic project, and you asked me to talk more about it. And I decided that I think it's finally time. It's honestly a little hard to talk about because the word and the story I am creating are pretty complex, and I also don't want to spoil too much. So, here is the short version. This is going to be a fantasy world where I combine elements from different mythologies, but with an unique twist of my own. One thing I'm certain of is that when the story finally gets released to a wider audience, it's going to be divisive. That's because I will be touching on sensitive topics, things like religion, questioning history, questioning of reality itself, identity crisis, and more. If I had to summarize it in a single sentence, it's an alternate history. The story itself doesn't take place on Earth, but in locations pretty inspired by mythology and partly sorted from my imagination. Still, Earth will be closely tied to this world. As for the characters, some will be mythological figures or their descendants, while others belong to an original people I have created for the story. In fact, these original characters are the real focus. The mythologies mainly serve as historical background, but several well-known mythological characters will still play significant roles in the narrative. For these new people I created, I have already written out their history, culture, and traditions. They are humanoid, but I designed them with an unique appearance that sets them apart. And where my imagination really ran wild was the animal kingdom. Yes, I created tons of new creatures, some inspired by real animals, some entirely imagined, some hybrid combination, and others rooted in mythology. Oh, and since mythology is such a big part of the historical backdrop, I have been studying it seriously. I already loved mythology and knew a lot about it, but to weave it seamlessly into the history of my world without conditions, I need to study it in much more detail. That's why I got myself this massive book. It's basically a chronicle of all the major mythologies from across the world. It's not the the work of one person, but a collection put together by many scholars. The thing is huge, over 600 pages. Tiny font filled with illustration. It's about 30 centimeters tall and 25 centimeters wide. And when I first picked it up, I was shocked at the weight. I didn't measure it, but I guessed around 3 or 4 kilograms. So yeah, it's a beast of a book. But I have already started reading and marking passages to use later. So the research is going strong to give my story as deep and detailed historical backdrop as possible. That's one side of the work. On the other side, there's still a lot to flesh out about my original people. And besides them, I have also created two other races. They won't get as much focus in the story, but I still need to give them some cultural and historical details. What I worry about so is falling into trap of world building far too long. With the universe this big, the world is never truly finished. Anyway, I hope I have sparked your curiosity. If you are interested, I can definitely share more details in the future videos.